Welcome to the Explainer. So today we're diving into a genuinely radical idea that pretty much challenges everything we've been taught about second language acquisition. You know the old drill, right? We're always told that achieving fluency means you have to pack your bags and go live abroad for years. But the latest neuroscience is actually telling us something completely different. It turns out fluency is really about a strategic rewiring of your daily environment. So today, we are unpacking the 7 hábitos para inmersión fluente, that is, 7 habits for fluent immersion, and showing you how to transform your very own home into a hyper-effective language lab, absolutely no passport required. Okay, let's dive into this. Here's a quick look at our roadmap. We'll be covering the travel myth, the neuroscience of fluency, the 7 daily immersion habits themselves, the science of shadowing, how we can accelerate all this with AI, and finally, what we call your new brain. It's a great mix of hard neuroscience and totally practical daily routines.
All right, Section 1, the travel myth, or as I like to call it, the classroom illusion.
Now, as language learners, we've all felt that frustration, right? Believing that just because we can't travel, we're somehow doomed to mediocrity. But honestly, it's just a simple math problem. Think about it. Traditional classes give you what, maybe 2 to 3 hours of exposure a week? That is roughly 0.002% of your waking hours. It's tiny. Now contrast that with the home immersion method you see here. This approach actually mimics living abroad by seamlessly weaving the language into your constant everyday routine. This allows for natural acquisition through context, which beats agonizing over grammar drills any day of the week.
Moving right along, Section 2, the neuroscience of fluency. Let's talk about the bilingual brain.
Before we jump into those specific habits, we really need to understand why this works. Take a look at this landmark study by the Georgetown University Medical Center. They found that, quote, learners in immersive environments developed brain patterns remarkably similar to native speakers, end quote. I mean, wow, science is literally proving that your brain doesn't actually know if you're physically sitting in a bustling cafe in Madrid or just chilling in your own kitchen. If the environment is immersive, your brain processes the language through the exact same neural pathways as native speakers do.
And this brilliantly illustrates Stephen Krashen's famous theory of comprehensible input. The core idea here is that we only acquire language when we engage with real, meaningful messages that are just slightly above our current proficiency level. Notice I said engage with messages, not memorize conjugation tables. It's that slight contextual challenge your brain craves, and that is the exact condition we are going to replicate at home.
All right, here we go, Section 3, the 7 daily immersion habits. This is the core framework we've been building up to.
So we can break these 7 habits down into 2 main buckets, passive input and active output. First up, passive input habits. These are fantastic because they create ambient exposure throughout your day, requiring absolutely zero extra free time. Habit 1, just switch your phone and laptop over to your target language. It's effortless vocabulary building. Habit 2, redesign your media diet. Swap out a chunk of your daily podcasts, music, or news for foreign equivalents. And habit 6, listen to foreign audio during dead time. You know, like when you're folding laundry or doing the dishes. Even if you only catch 30% of what's being said, you are still actively building your brain's phonemic awareness.
Now, passive input is great, but it's not the whole picture. Next, we have active output habits. Habit 3, try cooking while following a foreign recipe. It sounds crazy, but combining physical smells and tastes with language massively enhances your memory retention. It's multi-sensory learning. Habit 4, write in a journal for just 10 minutes a day to get that production practice in. Habit 7, watch foreign films, but do it smart. Start with dual subtitles and gradually ease your way down to just the target language. And finally, habit 5 is something called shadowing, which we will explore in just a second.
So you might be wondering, why do we need to combine passive and active habits? Well, a 2024 meta-analysis in language learning revealed something huge. It showed that combining passive input with active output actually accelerates your progress by 40%. 40%. Listening is a fantastic start for sure, but to reach true fluency, you have to force your brain to actually produce the language.
Now, what's really interesting about this slide is how seamlessly all of this fits into a standard, busy life. By just weaving these habits into things you're already doing anyway, like commuting, eating lunch, watching Netflix, you can easily rack up 110 minutes of fully integrated immersion time every single day. You don't need to block out massive hours of study time. You just change the medium of your normal routine.
Moving on to Section 4, the science of shadowing. This is all about muscular and cognitive training.
Shadowing is basically the secret weapon of professional interpreters. Let's break this academic definition down a bit. It's not just passively repeating a word after a pause. No, it is a highly cognitive activity. You are tracking the speech you hear and vocalizing it simultaneously. Tracking the speaker in real time like this physically trains your mouth muscles. Plus, it helps you adopt the innate melody, rhythm, and stress patterns of a native speaker. And as you go about your day, you want to combine this physical training with simple mental output. There's this great anecdote from a popular YouTube language channel that suggests thinking in small, simple sentences right from the moment you wake up. You stretch and think to yourself, I am awake. You're making breakfast and think, the tomato is red. Doing this connects the language directly to your actual physical life, entirely bypassing the need for mental translation.
Section 5. Accelerating with AI. Let's talk about some modern tools.
We truly live in a golden age for self-learners. But, I bet you might be thinking of that one frustrating question that plagues almost everyone doing home immersion. What if I don't have anyone to talk to? It's definitely the #1 barrier people hit.
Well, the first and honestly most powerful answer is incredibly simple. Talk to yourself. Seriously, do it in your room, in the car, in the shower. Describe your surroundings out loud. It forces your brain to search for vocabulary on the fly. And the best part? You do it entirely without the paralyzing fear of judgment.
But to really take this to the next level, let's look at a couple of cutting-edge AI tools that act like tireless virtual partners. On one hand, you have the Speak app. This tool offers massive repetition through targeted drills and short role plays, and it actually evolves based on your specific pronunciation mistakes. On the other hand, the Univerbal app creates corrected versions of your mistakes in real time. You literally read them out loud to train your muscle memory. It even has a hands-free phone call mode, which is amazing for building up that casual, colloquial street vocabulary.
Finally, we arrive at Section 6, your new brain, the ultimate physical transformation. So what actually happens inside your head when you stick to this immersion lab routine? First off, keep in mind that just 10 to 15 minutes a day of active output is totally enough. Consistency beats intensity every time. And remember, making mistakes during those 10 to 15 minutes, that's not a failure. Mistakes are literal proof of learning. They are the signals telling your brain that it needs to adapt.
So the crucial point here is that when you consistently apply these habits, you aren't just learning abstract words on a page. You are literally physically growing your brain's structure. Studies have shown that multilingualism actually increases the gray matter density in your brain. It increases activation in the regions responsible for natural language processing. It even increases myelin and connectivity in your corpus callosum, which massively boosts your brain's overall plasticity. It's like taking your brain to the gym.
To wrap up, I want to leave you with this provocative question. If we know for a fact that weaving just 110 minutes of these immersive habits into your weekly routine can literally alter the physical structure of your brain, what will your mind look like a year from now? Think about it. Be kind to your brain, embrace the slow, rewarding process, and go start building your own home language lab today.